talking about languages as part of the Block Zero thing, and I think this is an important thing because we live in such a multicultural university environment, and we have people that speak various languages, and acknowledging the fact that there are different languages that are spoken by our students and also staff is one good way of becoming open-minded about learning other languages and being able to say the little welcome or hello in another language. So where are you from, Anna?
I'm from Spain.
You're from Spain. So when did you move to UK?
I moved to the UK 9 years ago. I came here to study a master at the University of Bristol, and it was like 2 years. I did it part-time and working, so and then 9 years after, here I am.
When you first came in as an international student, in terms of that language, did you find were there any barriers that you faced at all?
So yes, there were like different barriers that I faced. When I came, my level was okay, but I think one of the key things that it was harder for me was that I couldn't feel myself. I couldn't felt that I could express myself or be myself in English. So I could say things that people could understand, but my personality wise, I couldn't be exactly myself. So like the first few months, I felt that I had like international friends and English friends, but I couldn't really be completely myself till I started to understand more about the culture, till I started to get better level, till suddenly I developed more feeling of myself. And then in academia, like studying the master, there was other challenges there, like for example, learning academic English is like really different than talking with friends or writing academic English. So I think my first essays, they were not the best ones because I used, of course, English language, but in Spanish academic writing style, that is different. We like phrases together, and is completely different until I learned how to write in English, academic English, and that helped me a lot. So I will recommend all of the students to go to all of the academic writing sessions to learn how to write in academic way, because it will save a lot of time and it will improve your marks.
I think not just for international students, but for home students as well. Understanding academic writing and how to do that effectively is really good. I find that I write as I communicate. So the same way I speak is the same way that I would put it in writing. And during my year in school, so I've just only graduated, especially my final year, I realized that I could not continue writing the way I said it. I had to think about what was acceptable in the eyes of obviously my markers, the lecturers, and conversational speaking is different from academic writing. So you're definitely right.
I will recommend people open themselves to others, try to talk to each other, and try to reach, so doing things that they like. Obviously, in this COVID time that we are in a challenging times, so maybe some things need to be online. But I think there are like a lot of opportunities to join communities online, or like some sport that they like, or if they can do it like physically because is safe. I will recommend to take the opportunity at the university to join and do things that they want to try, and this way they can meet more people and feel less isolated and engage with the class, engage with the course, with the peers, and in some point if they have like some problem, like some feeling homesick or any feeling isolated, there are places that they can support you. So we have the wellbeing team. It is like youth counseling advice, Milari. So there are like many options of support that please like ask for advice and for support, because there is always like someone that is going to be able to help you. And I guess also like for all students and for all of us, we need to start thinking how we use like language to be with kindness, with compassion, how to be inclusive. And especially in those times that we need to use language differently, that we cannot read the facial expressions and all of that. So it's thinking like to create an inclusive environment. So if we are going to make some jokes that exclude people, or some jokes that some people can feel offensive, like thinking twice, thinking like try to include everyone, so that no one feel excluded, no one feel disrespected.
You know, when I think about language, language speaks volumes, because it is not, it is identity. It is how people identify themselves in different environments. For where I'm from, so from Nigeria, we have over 150 languages.
Wow.
150. So I can be sitting in a room with other Nigerians, and people can be speaking in their different languages, and I don't understand.
Wow.
But I would say, you know, what I've come to learn is, in a space where, you know, English is not spoken, for example, it is okay asking, you know, whosoever is speaking, as long as you're engaging with them, you know, to translate what it means to you. And then also, if you're on the other side where something is being said in English but you don't understand, it's also okay asking what that means. When we think about virtual learning, how can we promote inclusive language? Because students at the moment would be writing a lot of things in the chat box, and how do we make sure that, you know, people are not using inappropriate languages, and if they are using inappropriate languages, this is what can be done to report that.
Yeah, so I think it's really important. Like now we're using all of the online environments and being aware of like online harassment or inappropriate wording or all of that. And if you have seen some comments that they are not okay, or is something that you feel excluded, because language can express stereotype, bias, discrimination. So it could be really exclusive. If you've seen something that is not okay, use report and support and report it, because it's really important that we are aware also, like in an online class. If you want to communicate with your colleagues, with your friends online, it's important like thinking in an inclusive way, thinking like, because if you're writing, you have this time of thinking. It's not like also like where you are talking things. So try to think it twice what we are talking, and I think like all of us, we can have bias, and all of us, we can have like unconscious bias, but it's like starting to put like some conscious into that, to be starting to be aware of like maybe something that you write or something that you say can affect others.
I would say, you know, for home and international students that are joining us this side of the academic year, language in itself is power. Language is that thing that would get you through into many doors, many places. There are jobs that seek people who have additional, you know, who are able to speak other languages, which I think is fantastic.
I will encourage all of our students to learn a new language, to talk to someone from people from different cultures, to try new foods. So like to open themselves of that, because we are like a global society now.
And just around that communication and use of language, I think it's just human to be nice. There is no reason why we should transfer aggression, or we should say things that are not appropriate to another person. So that is a very, very, very good point. Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you.
You're welcome, Augusta. It was great.
Yeah.